Today, thank goodness for that, but it is a very chilly night in Melbourne town. As Collingwood in 13th spot on the ladder hosts the Lions in second position. Voss taps it in the direction of Black, and the Lions are away. Long kick on the left. Getting in the hole with courage is Giacomo. And as I've said that, it's starting to rain. On cue.
And that'll be something that Nick Malthouse will be really happy with. Let's not forget last year in an early final, Collingwood took the honours against Brisbane in these sort of conditions.
So McKee on ball for Giacomo to Johnson as Collingwood work it away nicely. Davis controlling the footy if not marking it for O'Brien now as the rain intensifies. And this might suit Collingwood, who enter the 50, but it doesn't look as though they're going to stay there. Sharman, bad hand pass. So Collingwood are able to hold it in.
Is that my fault? Look, Collingwood's strength over the last couple of years has been able to play good, strong, in-close football around the stoppages. And there's Tim Notting having a bit of a smile about it all. But certainly Nick Malthouse will be the one with the smile on his face.
Shifting out there, Brisbane free kick.
Free kick going to Sharman for the Shepherd. Dishes off to the Brownlow medal favourite. 6-1 odds, Lappin. As he goes to the wing, Pike's there, and they'll have a throw in.
And Martin Pike is virtually the centre-half forward in the absence of Jonathan Brown. And, gee, can he plug holes for Brisbane? So he's pushing back towards the half-forward position.
Fraser and Sharman once again. Woden. And another stalemate. Collingwood with both big men out there, Fraser and McKee. McKee's being picked up by Leppich. As Sharman blocks Fraser. Now, I can never read these, but it's against Sharman.
Well, that's two against the big Brisbane ruckman.
Fraser from behind the centre. In driving rain now. And he takes on Sharman. Goes for Rocker. Plenty against him. Voss squirting it to Black. Beautifully done by Brisbane. Johnson coming to grief, but giving to Caracella for Leppich. This is a good move. Now young McDonald to Hart, who could kick it from there. It's the first score.
And gee, what a great example of the bash and crash and the hard running forward of the Brisbane team. There's Blake Caracella in picture. He started in the goal square with Alistair Lynch.
And it is pelting down at the MCG as we welcome Christy Malthouse. Who said television was glamorous, Christy?
Thanks, Stephen. Now, I'm not complaining, but this rain is getting heavier and heavier. And you know what? The hailstones have started to arrive as well. It's freezing cold. It's going to get down to 5 degrees.
So we've got the hail and we've got the rain all in the space of a couple of minutes at the start of this game at the MCG. McKee to Lucuria, just outside defensive 50, switches to the members' side, nicely done. Cole to Clement to the 50, out of the space. Rocker got there, just couldn't hang under the slippery football. Buckley against Ackermanis. Strength from Buckley to O'Brien. Quick hands, very quick hands to Shaw, who pops it into the pocket. Sharman on hands and knees to Bradshaw, got legs.
No damage.
And it's a free kick to Bradshaw. Would high skin folds help a bit in this weather, Rob?
To keep you warmer, Tim.
Bit of wetsuit. There's Leppich. This is heavy, heavy rain. That's a pretty good placement for Luke Power. Now Lappin. They're unfamiliar conditions for Brisbane. They do get rain up there, but it's not normally as cold when it happens. Giacomo supported by Locken. In fact, Giacomo comes out with a free. Did you find, Rob, Brisbane teams notably hated playing in this sort of weather in Melbourne?
They don't enjoy it. This Brisbane team, of course, is the best of all time, so they'll adapt.
Here's Fraser moving like a rover on a dry day. Johnson going to spoil. Collingwood there in numbers. Great effort, Voss, to get a hand in there, and Power. Wonderful work by Brisbane. Just two little 1%ers.
High tackle, Wookie. Wookie, take it.
So Power's free kick, which in fact is to the team's disadvantage. They were on the break.
Hard hit on him, and that's good from Collingwood. Look, they'll be looking, Collingwood, to make it a low-scoring affair. If they can kick 9 or 10 goals and keep Brisbane to about the same amount, that's their best chance. Hard to see Brisbane opening up a 6 or 7 goal lead in these conditions.
Johnson pumps it long. Carosella is his target, and that is an excellent mark in front of Johnson.
And you can see Johnson thought that Prestigiacomo would help him, and the help just didn't come. And this is Logan coming in hard, sliding into Luke Powell. That's the reason for the free kick. And just have a look at Johnson from behind Carosella, and he was expecting Presti to give him some support there, and it just didn't happen.
Kicked 7 goals in his 6 matches this season. Blake Carosella, 30 metres out, 45-degree angle at the Pump Road end, and he slots through the first of the evening. Well, every goal's going to be valuable tonight, Rob.
Well, they will be, and here we see it again. Just held his ground really well there, Blake Carosella. Ben Johnson couldn't get a fist on it. And he is an accurate kick in all conditions, is Blake Carosella. And he's very much down there in the goal square with Alistair Lynch. And have a look at the size and strength of these two fellas. Mel Michael playing on Anthony Rocker. I think Rocker will not get too far outside that forward 50 zone, playing with an ankle injury, as Mick Malthouse admitted through the week.
McKee doing the centre bounce honours for Collingwood. Goals are going to be very hard to come by tonight. Not a night for hand passing the footy excessively. Brisbane already 10 to Collingwood's 4. Fraser now in the ruck contest. Lappin coming the other way. Sure, what a challenge it is for him against Ackermanis after last year's grand final. Lockyer, Fraser, who's been in the midst of it, just couldn't quite find the target. The idea was right. Leppich to Power, to Voss, who's been a good contributor already, and Copeland. Good crisp movement by the champions. Robert Copeland on the southern stand wing. Drills it long to the 50. Pike attacks it best. And was rewarded with the mark as he chips to Lynch in the pocket. Wakeland worked his way to the front. And did it nicely. Quickly to Burns, and that's a good spot up to Lockyer. Target Lockyer's away for the Magpies. Little chip to Fraser, who's been prominent early. Told to play on. So Josh Fraser pumps it long. He's looking for Rocker, who wrestles with Michael. Coming across in front from the side was Bradshaw. Good man up.
And that just shows the good support. You see Mal Michael give him a little bit of a pat on the back. Mal Michael, one out with his opponent, just gets the support from his teammate Bradshaw, who came back, got that strong spoil, put the ball out of bounds, forces a stoppage, gives the Brisbane players a chance to go one-on-one.
It is teeming down at the MCG. We're indoors and I'm freezing and feeling a little damp. Boy, it's raining at the moment. Look at the hailstones. The crowd, I think, recognising it too and having a bit of a laugh. Massive hailstones. Boy, every goal will be worth 3 tonight. Reece Shaw's kick smothered. There's O'Brien. Ackermanis, how did he get that out? Cole. Terrific smothering by both teams. Now Buckley, who lined up at full forward. Can he balance himself? And can he kick it? Not quite.
I can remember a game Brisbane played out at Waverley when the hailstones came down. Paul Pearce had a shot for goal, and he reckons they were as big as golf balls coming down on him.
Bit of rain at Waverley? What are you talking about?
Sure did.
A bit of respite at the moment as it eases here in Melbourne. Beautiful one day, perfect the next. There's another throw in inside Collingwood's attacking 50. It'll be Fraser to contest this one against Leppich. Fraser to the back. Running onto it is Buckley. Dispossessed by Ackermanis. Here's Shaw. He's gang tackled. And they'll have another bounce, about 55 out from the Magpies goal.
Jamie Charman, the Brisbane ruck, was not quite sure what to do. He's coming in to take the contest, but McKee's opponent is setting up in a dangerous spot.
Ackermanis, quick kick out of the pack. Woden hacks it out of midair. Locken will get there first. Pike. Handballs to no one in particular. Black comes onto the scene. Little soccer off the ground by Cole. Is that in the back? Yes, says the umpire, against Carosella. And the recipient is Clement.
And both coaches at quarter time will be telling their players, because of the wet, slippery conditions, be careful in the tackle situation. Don't cannon into the backs of your opponents.
Just took him forward in that one, didn't he? Rocker called, Lucuria let it come. And Rocker was pushed in the back. Slippery ball, man on the mark, 65 out. Crowd urging him to. He unloads. Pulls it wide. Bounced inside or not? It did. Good result for Collingwood. Not the best, but beats the hell out of the alternative. And no doubt about that. So Collingwood pressing again. Brisbane leading by a goal. McKee doing the ruck work for the Magpies. Buckley very busy up there. Fraser there as well. But Brisbane there in greater numbers. And the Norm Smith medalist from the last Saturday of last September. To Johnson. O'Brien corralled him well. Johnson fights on. And gets a pass result.
Craig McRae, half-forward flanker, getting ready to come on. He will enjoy playing in these conditions. McRae, not only is he dangerous around goals, but he's very good at locking the ball into the Brisbane forward line once it hits the ground.
McKee the tap, but it went to McGrath. Little toe poke to the wing. Getting there first was McDonald. Lost possession. Davis to half-forward. Holland. Still in play as Copeland sees it over the line.
The other thing that's important in these conditions is at the stoppages, it's important that the players who are 30, 40, 50 metres away from these contests here, that they are working to get in front, because the ball won't carry. Whenever the ball comes away from the stoppages, it'll be a rush kick. There won't be too much distance on it, so it's important to get that front position.
Black. Davis thought about kicking off the ground. Fortunately, he didn't, but Clement gets the ball. The half-forward whistle on play. And it's a hold, and it's going against the Pies.
Chris Johnson.
Taken by Chris Johnson at half-back.
Over here, buddy.
Anthony Rocker has set up in the Collingwood back line as the extra man in defence.
Play on, Jack.
And that's his opponent. That's why he's free, Mal Michael. So there's Brisbane's spare player in defence. Mal Michael. Anthony Rocker is in the defensive 50 at the other end of the ground.
Bradshaw off and the crayon, so a small for a tall for Brisbane as Lappin marks at half-back.
And they'll be chipping it around Brisbane, because they know that Rocker's down there. You can see him at the back of picture.
Collingwood fans let Acker know what they think about him. Clement, well tackled by Craig McRae, who is on now. Johnson getting out of the Pike tackle. Good robust stuff. McGrath the knock-on for Brisbane. Burns coming the other way. About the spot where he laid out Jonathan Brown in the opening minutes of the grand final. Shaw a long ball as the hail and the rain beat down again. Fraser double team.
Yeah, well, a 2-on-1, Tim, because Mal Michael is free.
Well done, Woden. And Holland can mark it. Boy, it is almost snowing here. It is incredible.
The hailstones actually hurt when they hit you.
You've got to be tough, Christie. Hang in there.
And you can just see Robert Copeland waited for that ball to come to him. Woden stepped inside, got it, and then it was just a short, quick kick forward. Collingwood had the players in the right spot. And this is an important kick. It's an important kick because goals are at a premium in these conditions.
He's a Tassie boy. He can stand it. What do I tell you? So scores are level at the MCG, and Collingwood are fighting hard, and they're in this contest against the premiers of the last 3 years. Good kick by Holland from out near 50. Well, amongst all that, there's some footballers playing a game of Aussie rules.
And the umpire throwing it up.
Voss rewarded for putting his head over the ball. 1-1-7 apiece. Voss to half forward. Members side marked by Power. There's Alistair Lynch. It's going to be a dirty night for full forwards, you'd expect. Power wobbles one inside 50. Lynch has a fresh airy. Cole, good pick up in the conditions. Kicks it to the wing, no one there. There's a couple of Lions that'll get there first. One of them is McDonald. And he'll go short to Michael. Not a lot on offer. Handballs over the top to Lappin. He doubles back and he goes to the wing and finds McDonald once again.
Josh Fraser now has dropped back as the extra in defence for the Pies.
To the 50, Lynch against Wakeland. Wakeland the fist. Black went without it, has time to recover, puts out the don't argue. Shaw soccers off the ground. Loney's just come on, keeps it alive. Fortuitous, and now the Magpies are away. No one home, so Loney just strokes the kick into the forward pocket. The chase is on. Michael will get there first. Again, nothing to kick to. Touches the ball on the turf. Goes sideways. Davis. Collingwood have got the extra man. Leon Davis in the pocket. Whistle on play. Advantage paid. Now it's coming back, is it? Good umpiring.
Against Caracella. And the shepherd was put on Caracella. And he put the arm around the neck. There's Josh Fraser, who's pushing from the half-back line. So it looks as if Mick Malthouse will employ an extra one back, one of his bigger players, Rocker or Josh Fraser. And again, another very important kick in these conditions. If they can come in front at quarter time, it'll be a huge victory for the Magpies.
Shane O'Brien from 35 metres out. He has put Collingwood in front. The Pies, the Lions 1-1-7.
And you just see, well, that's where Simon Black just runs into a lot of trouble. Nathan Buckley gets the don't argue. And you just see here, shepherding there by O'Brien and Caracella clumsy. And that's what the coaches will be saying at quarter time. Just because it's wet and slippery, don't let that be an excuse for sloppy tackling and giving away of free kicks.
Brisbane have lost their last 9 night matches at the MCG. They haven't won here since round 20 of 1988, under lights that is. And Collingwood are going to test them tonight. Loney has been in the midst of it since coming on.
Reece Shaw, a couple of soccer kicks, effective soccer kicks, pushing the ball forward, getting 30 or 40 metres. Loney looks as if he'll be lining up across the half-forward line, Lepich his opponent.
And Rocker is going to have 2 against him regularly tonight. Ackermanis, they're different conditions from those in which he kicked 5 goals in the grand final last year. And he's given away a free here. Buckley, a long way out. And he manages to find McKee.
Good mark in these conditions because that ball was really travelling.
11-5 inside 50s in favour of Collingwood.
And you can see the Ackermanis around the neck. It's the second one in a minute that Brisbane have given away, and that is just sloppy football.
Left footer can kick it long when he gets onto it. Rocker did well. Still alive. O'Brien. Davis. Good smother by Black.
Another free. 3 free kicks in 3 minutes. And the fellow with the footy is a very, very accurate kick. Targan Lockyer.
He's within range. He has 49 career goals. He's still searching for his 50th. Not the result Leppich was after. He kept it alive. Lucuria not getting any bend on the kick. Collingwood by 7 points.
How's it going, Christy?
Yes, the glamorous world of television. So McGrath's got it in the back pocket. His target is Leppich. Now Buckley lurking at the back of the pack. Back inside 50 go the Pies. Loney snares it. Right foot snap is offline. Another point. Well, if these conditions persist for the rest of the match, I suspect every point is going to be valuable tonight.
And Collingwood have just controlled the game over the last 10 minutes. It's really been all their way.
Johnson to do the kicking in.
Brisbane have made their first ruck change. Charman off, McLaren on.
Ackermanis off the ground. To the wing. Hart. Good tackle by McKee. Throw it on centre wing. And
Michael Voss leaving the field. Richard Hadley coming on.
Magpies by 8 points. Brisbane being tested. Fraser did well. Brisbane with numbers. And Lapham roving the pack with keen anticipation. Black. By Woden the fist onto it. That's a push in the back by Woden's ball.
Clumsy stuff. Now, they haven't got the ball to centre-half forward very often, Brisbane, but in these conditions, wouldn't they love to have a Jonathan Brown there?
Buckley's been outstanding.
And in these conditions, not just for his marking ability, but his ability to bring the ball to ground to the advantage of his smaller forwards.
Locken trying to size up the options. Here comes Rocker. Just couldn't make the drop. Holland, well done. Spinning out of a tackle for Lucuria. Now Loney, who's been good since coming on, and might do something here. But there's plenty for the Magpies to be enthused about in this first quarter.
Good hit there by Brodie Holland on McGrath. Quick hands off to Lucuria, who set Loney up.
Marks the short kick in the back pocket. And his kick's good too as he finds Hadley. Richard Hadley to the wing. Looks for Pike against Prestigiacomo. And soccer by Prestigiacomo. Black for his 8th touch, which is the match high so far. To half forward, running back with the flight of the ball was Cole. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Shaw mops up. Ackermanis snapping at the heels. Now hard into the pocket. Lynch against Wakeland. Wakeland kept his feet. There's all Brisbane here though. There's Caracella. Couldn't hang on to the mark. Spoiled by Shaw. Hadley once again. Pops it over the top to Voss. Sidesteps. Goes long. Lynch is in front. And Lynch will take the mark. Shane Wakeland has won the one-on-one contest between the two.
At that time, Alistair Lynch in front for the boss kick. The kick only carried about 40 metres. And that front position with the big frame, Shane Wakeman had no chance to get a fist on it.
And just hang on to it too.
Just stayed there, didn't it?
So Alistair Lynch in his 300th match, chance to get on the scoreboard. He does, but it's just the one behind.
Nathan Buckley, who started the game at full forward, has now put himself into the thick of the action.
Would almost have been a miscarriage of justice if Lynch had converted then and put Brisbane within 3 points. Collingwood have deserved to be where they are. Woden, long ball, Power just getting a hand in there, deflecting it away from Rowe, who's come on. And Brisbane with good numbers around the footy. Power, Copeland is the target. It slipped through. Lynch, well mown down. Desperate stuff from Woden.
Well, the desperation of the Magpies has been really good in this first quarter. And you can see Alistair Lynch getting set to have a kick, and the tackle from behind on the side by Woden puts him off balance.
It's in red time, which means danger for Collingwood. Their record in red time this year has been terrible. But on this occasion, they clear it from the defensive 50. Well won by Rowe to his skipper. Great tackle by Johnson. Lappin's in there. Good hard football. Hadley on hands and knees. Fed it out. Rowe, quick kick out of the pack. Smash forward by Leppich. Here's a chance for Carousella in heavy traffic. Around the corner. Back with a flood, and the ball was Cole. Again, couldn't quite hang on to it, but didn't take his eyes off the footy. And we'll have a throw in. 65 out from Brisbane's goal. Collingwood this year ranked 15 in red time. They're negative 183 points. Whereas Brisbane are the best team in time on. They're positive 193 points. So, direct contrast. Carousella to Lappin. Soccer off the ground by Locken. Lappich throws his body on the ball. Carousella again's been busy. Pops it inside 50. Clement underneath it. Can't take the mark. Soccer's off the ground. Saves the day for the Flyers. Beautifully done.
Just hit the line, I thought, but gee, it's a good scrap and scrape. Just what Collingwood wanted.
Plenty of hardy souls sitting in that uncovered ground level area of the MCG. Locken almost handing it there to Burns. Buckley, vigorous stuff. Power, quickest of hands. Boss now. Brisbane still pressing in the dying seconds. Might be out off Ackermanis' nut above the knee. Maybe he got a hand in there.
Well, Jason Ackermanis just the 4 disposals in this first quarter. Reece Shaw doing a good job on him.
This might have been out on the full. McLaren in there for Brisbane, and Pike. Famous, the old one-hand pickup. Well, we've enjoyed the cover and the relative warmth of Telstra Dome during the middle of this winter, but it's good to see football played in diverse conditions. It is a winter game after all, and I think everyone's enjoying this. It's a good contest. Unless you're a Collingwood or Brisbane player.
Yeah, I'd like you to ask Christy that question.
Poor boundary riders.
So another stalemate, and that is quarter time as Nick Mulhouse quickly comes down onto the boundary, and he's pretty happy with what he saw in the first quarter. Rob, Pies in front.
Yes, he would be happy, and there's Alistair Lynch, and he's had limited opportunities because the Magpies have had the ball in their front half for most of that first quarter. A terrific start by the Collingwood side, 2 goals for. In fact, they could have been further in front with the opportunities that they had. It'll be interesting to see how Brisbane adapt, and I've got no doubt the coach will be keen to remind them of wet weather football at quarter time.
16 plays 8, Pies in front as Melbourne turn it on in this first quarter.
Sunday. The Cats play host to the Swans. Geelong have humiliated every visitor to Skilled Stadium this season, so Roosie's boys must be on their game to avoid a similar fate. It's Geelong versus Sydney Sunday on Fox Footy Channel.
Oh, yeah. Oh, goody dad. Diddy diddy diddy. Yeah.
On premium light. Some drink it because they're responsible.
What?
Others just love the taste.
Read all about the incredible deals in Harvey Norman's latest electrical catalogue. Make the switch. Pioneer's multi-playback DVD recorder is down to a red-hot $7.99, including 5-year warranty. Philips DVD recorder with one-touch recording, now $7.99 with a $100 cashback. And this Panasonic boasts an 80-gig hard drive, revolutionising the way you record. You'll never use a tape to record again. $13.99 with bonus 3-pack DVD RAM disc. Catalogue out now.
Premium light. Some drink it because they're responsible.
What?
Others just love the taste.
Monday, the boys are joined by 3-time All-Australian Warren Treadray on the couch.
The great man Treadray.
The Port Adelaide champion is in contention for Coleman and Brownlow honours this year, but Jared, Mike and Robert will be most interested in his team's chances come September. On the couch, Monday, on Fox Footy Channel.
Richard Hadley putting on the jacket. So we start this second quarter, and it's the Magpies leading the Lions by 8 points. Sharman knocked it forward. Voss underneath it. Quick hands to Lappin. Deep into attack. Prestigiacomo the fist. Spills here to McDonald. Around the body. He's offline for 1 point. So Joel McDonald playing just his 7th game of AFL football. 16 plays 9. Clement can see, and at the moment he can't see anything he really likes.
Mine.
He's a lovely long kick of the ball. He didn't go all out there, but he placed it perfectly for McKee.
And little Sean Hart was behind him. Even though Hart was a lot smaller, Hart would be disappointed he wasn't able to force a spoil.
Paul Holland a little careless there with his placement. Lucuria helps him out to Clement. Sharman getting in Fraser's path. Was well tied up.
And there's Ashley McGrath, the defender for Brisbane. Have a look at his right hand. Very, very heavily take. And the left hand with the glove on it.
Fraser wins the hard ball. Pops it inside 50 for Collingwood. Whistle on play.
Play on. It's up here. Nah, he's done back. Thank you.
That's a free kick going Collingwood's way. To Ryan Loney.
Yes, and another Collingwood player who is a good kick. And you can see Copeland behind.
It's pretty soft.
Was that for in the back?
I'm not sure. There was a hold.
Bit of a hold on the jumper early.
So Loney hits it low and gets Collingwood's third. Oh, the Pies. They are looking the goods. 3 goals to 1. Dubious free kick. We'll have another look at it. Was it a hold? Certainly wasn't a push.
Just a little bit of a grab on the jumper, yes. As small as it was, the players are told, if you grab hold of the jumper, you will be penalised. And you can just see there, Copeland had a grab on him, very early stages. And we can see Copeland behind, just a bit of a grab. And that's the advantage of having 3 umpires, if you like, because the third umpire was right back there, only metres away, so he saw the whole lot.
They won't really besiege there, Black. Ackermanis out-positioned and led to the ball by Shaw. And the line is his friend. Brisbane kicked the first goal. Collingwood have kicked 3 unanswered since. And 13 points in these conditions is a pretty useful lead. Carousella hustled over by Johnson.
And there we see Nathan Buckley at full forward. Chris Scott, his opponent. And he is one tough nut, is Chris Scott, getting close to the 200 game mark.
Burns is tackled.
In these conditions, Scotty Burns, Paul Lucuria, Brodie Holland, they will thrive.
They go again. Sharman got that one. So Lappin, who's held up by 3 Magpies. Leading possession getters in the match. Blackscott 9, Lappin 8 for Brisbane. Lucuria 7, Burns and Fraser 6 apiece for Collingwood. Now Voss is being pinged. That's tough. That is really hard. As Burns gets the free kick and drives it long, but only as far as Lepich. The umpire's going to try and do something to keep the game flowing. So long as the bloke playing the ball comes out with his fair share of the frees too, if they are going to be awarded in those situations. Hart keeping it wide. Reshaw tunnelling it and again finding the line. He's been good so far against Ackermanis. Bradshaw starting down the back for Brisbane.
And Lee Matthews with all his big guns in the thick of the action. Voss, Power, Ackermanis, Lappin.
And that was Power putting it forward. Ackermanis going pretty much to full forward now, but again, Reshaw. Undisciplined again, wasn't it?
It was undisciplined. We'll have a look at it again shortly. Just completely unnecessary by Jason Ackermanis.
And a good kick from Shaw to find Holland. Collingwood have received the last 7 free kicks in this match. No one will be disputing that one, though. That's about the 4th one, Rob, that I think's been really undisciplined.
Unnecessary, and it just builds the confidence. They're getting in front, and it just builds the confidence of the Magpies.
Lockyer with the free. Looks for McKee and finds him. Stephen McKee says I'm going to go long and does just that. His target is Rocker. Michael will pick him off from behind. Quick kick by Loney was ineffective. McGrath now comes out to Voss, and Brisbane have got a bit of room here to move. Voss goes long. Hadley wrestles. Shaw.
Ackermanis is being dragged.
Clement throws himself on the ball. And another free kick. Now that's 9.
Over the back, free kick.
9 free kicks in a row to the Pies.
And that's the reason why Jason Ackermanis has been benched by the coach.
They're on a roll here, Collingwood. More ways than one. Lockyer to Burns. Magpies by 13 points. And now Wakeland. These are conditions more like, rather worse than, in fact, those in which the first of the 2 grand finals between the clubs was fought out.
Collingwood supporters unhappy with that. They thought that
Straight out, fair enough, but he came up.
he came up. The umpires tried to justify it, but the Collingwood supporters thought Robert Copeland deliberately put that out of bounds, which he did.
Don't think Magpie supporters could complain too much at the moment. Foster Power to Lappin, 3 of the Fab 4 with the other one on the bench. Wakeland leads Lynch to it. Lynch played it well, gave Pike a slim chance. It'll take a bit of sting out of Acker's tail. The last laugh might be on somebody else but Acker, just for one night at least.
My arm. Dropped it.
That's
That's a tough rule, Tim. If you catch the ball, as Alistair Lynch did from the throw-in, and don't get it away with a clean kick or handball, you are penalised.
50 for abusive language against Pike.
Well, you'll see Alistair Lynch catches the ball at the boundary throw-in. From here on, he has to get a kick or a handball. Now, the Wakeland tackle prevents him from getting connection with the boot, so that is a correct call by the umpire. That's the way they interpret it now.
So half forward go the Pies, only as far as Voss. To Hart, to McGrath, chips it to Black. Black with possession number 10 to the wing. And his kick's good, it finds McDonald. He's off.
Well, Alistair Lynch is the only Brisbane player in the forward 50.
Kennedy Smith in the middle though. As Black finds Carousella, he's got Johnson running out wide, he ignores him and he goes for Lynch.
Spot on, Rob. They did it well, didn't they? They brought it from the wing position into the centre corridor and then to the other half-forward, flank-forward pocket area where Alistair Lynch had an enormous amount of space to lead into. Clever player, Blake Carousella. Rarely wastes a disposal.
Traditional Tasmanian marking method in the middle of winter, that. So Alistair Lynch has kicked it behind so far. So 3-4 plays 1-4. It is the Pies by 2 straight kicks. They're having more of it at the moment though, and showing signs of working their way back on the board. Woden hooking it wide, that's a clever kick. Cole.
Hold it there. Play on.
Now he's gone off the line. Locken. Heads for Fraser. So another throw in.
There's Nathan Buckley. He's pushed up from full forward to centre half forward. And I think it won't be too long before he has a go in the midfield.
3 goals kicked in the first quarter. Collingwood have kicked the only one of the second. Hart to Voss. Well taken. Carousella. Oh, that's a good grab.
It was a clever kick too, Tim, because he was going to kick it to Alistair Lynch, but he saw Lynch had 2 opponents, and then he just pulled it a little bit to the forward pocket, and it was Carousella who was just 1 out against his direct opponent in Maxwell.
He's probably been the most effective forward on the ground so far, Rob.
Well, he's very clever. He gets front position, works the ball well. He can tap it to advantage. Smart footballer.
He's kicked Brisbane's only goal. Testing shot. They all are tonight. So another behind. The margin, 11 points.
You say a testing shot, Tim. It's from here on, it's a testing game for Brisbane. I reckon their plan would have been to come out, good conditions, get 5 or 6 goals in front, if they could, and just break the spirit of Collingwood. Well, now it really will test Brisbane as to how much they want to win this game, because they are going to have to work enormously hard to take the 4 points tonight, now that they've let Collingwood get that jump on them.
Another strong mark by McKee. To Rocker. Squeezes the kick out to Davis. Just couldn't grab it on the first opportunity. Got it to Woden, however. To Burns. No free kick. Quick kick out of the pack by McRae. Into space. The races on. Clement. Pike. Cole. And the boundary line beats them all as Pikey gives anyone in the vicinity another spray.
He's an angry man, isn't he? Martin Pike.
Poor boundary umpire copped it then.
A couple of the elite midfielders of the competition, Black and Lacuria.
Michael, superb tap. Just didn't quite come off to McRae. Clement with strength. Did well to get the kick away. Power. Now McGrath, who's been busy. Great smother rocker in the conditions. That would sting. Spills to Black. Into the pocket. McRae. Great wet weather mark.
Well, it will suit his left boot.
goals, 7 this season to Craig McRae.
And game number 186, triple premiership player, came from the Glenelg Football Club in Adelaide.
And no problem whatsoever for Craig McRae. Lions get their second.
Fantastic camera work to show that.
There's the rocker smother, but the Lions forced it forward, and beautiful mark in the conditions. And McRae doesn't miss many opportunities. Gives them something to clap their hands and warm them up a bit over. Their first goal in 37 minutes. It doesn't happen often. They've gone more than a full quarter without kicking one. No! But just at the moment, they're dominating general play. And while Collingwood lead on the board, Brisbane perhaps back on top.
And there's Mal Michael, spare man in defence, pushing up. You can see Josh Fraser, that's Leppich's opponent. Mal Michael is the spare player for the Brisbane Lions.
Good effort, Johnson. He attacked the ball, Lockie-weighted back. Goal the spoil, Power read it beautifully. Brisbane dangerous again. Here's Lynch's chance. Half a chance for Boss, which was often all he needs, but he couldn't make anything of that. But Brisbane continue to press. They are right on top in general play at the moment. Out on the full, perhaps. Rocker used his body beautifully as he pinged. Yes! Well, he took the ball out and he was tackled.
And that's the risk you take. We saw it happen to Alistair Lynch. Catches the ball, can't get a clean handball away because the tackle comes on, and that's the main reason why this fella with the footy's in the team. He's their best forward line tackler.
Brisbane's first free kick for the quarter could be a crucial one. McRae nails his second. Lions in front all of a sudden by a point.
Well, it's happened pretty quickly, hasn't it? 2 quick goals to Craig McRae, and we see Anthony Rocker. He elects to catch the ball. McRae pulls the right arm back. He cannot get a clean hit on it, and he knows that he's been done in.
What do you think of the rule, Rob?
I don't like it. I don't like it because, if you've got to be able to attack the footy, take advantage, grab hold of it, and be given as much time as anyone else to get rid of it.
Travesty of an interpretation in the minds of many good judges, I think.
And the shoulder.
Rocker actually took possession of the football and then tried to get rid of it.
You're making the play, aren't you?
You are. And you're actually being discouraged from trying to do that.
Should be given as much time as any other player on the ground.
Brisbane lead by a point. Collingwood's turn to attack. Buckley goes for Rocker at the other end of the ground.
Steve McKee, the Collingwood ruckman, really did protect Anthony Rocker in that situation.
Legitimately?
Oh, well, I think so. Let's have a look at it. Just have a look at McKee. Just puts a little side bump on Mal Michael, and that is enough for Anthony Rocker to take it without any opposition. And I tell you what, will Anthony be hoping he kicks a goal after giving away the last one?
As Ben Johnson said, after winning the gold medal in Seoul, I've got the gold medal, no one can take it off me. This ball is Rocker's, but he misses. Scores a level. Been a few finalists in that 1988 100 metres that have been found out in the last few years, Tim. Might be a few more found out over the coming months too. So the Lions have possession, still deep inside their own defensive 50. Johnson goes up the corridor. Gives the handball to Leppich, who sidesteps. Now to Black. Can Brisbane work something here? Black inside 50, but Rocker working hard at both ends of the ground. Takes the mark in defensive 50. To McKee.
Well, they'll chip it around the Magpies because Brisbane have set the wall up at half-back for the Lions.
Clement has also been working hard to the 50. Copeland to Loney, who kept his feet. Well done by Ryan Loney. Can he finish off? There's a whistle on play. He's kicked the goal anyway. Well played, Collingwood. To Loney, who has done some excellent work since he came on the ground in the first quarter.
Just good body work by Ryan Loney to enable that ball to get behind. That's the last position where Brisbane want the ball to be, to get behind that pack. And then, of course, he's able to use his pace to get to the ball first. And the half-back flanker is enjoying playing up forward.
He's been a handy forward. He's kicked 2 goals too. One of them a poster in the first quarter. Good Shepherd laid to protect him.
And gets it on the non-preferred boot, the right. Jason Ackermanis back on after being benched for 13 minutes.
So Collingwood finding the answer after the challenge from Brisbane. Race for the footy and Swan wins it for the Magpies. Good weather for Swans. Hadley. Carousel has been handy, but Maxwell did all right on him there. Locken happy to see it over. Magpies by a goal. It's been quite a struggle. Charman still rucking. McKee against him. Steve McKee's taken 6 marks, more than anyone on the field. Carousel to Boss. Forced to kick steeply upwards and couldn't carry it all the way home. And Swan sees it over. Collingwood by 5 points.
Nathan Buckley starts each quarter at full forward, then goes out to the half-forward line, and then puts himself into the midfield. And now doing the kicking in.
And he, well, they never waste it. Very, very rarely waste it.
A man for all seasons.
Locken couldn't keep it in. An interesting matchup with Maxwell, given the job on Carosella.
Yes, for a young player, big responsibility. Young Magpie.
Carosella having a great game with 10 disposals. So Woden, bottom of that pack.
Grab the ball. I've got to see a tackle.
The Pies by 5 points. Blackscott 13 disposals, Voss 11, Carosella 10 for Brisbane. For the Pies, 10 to Clement, 9 to Burns, 8 each to Shaw, Lucuria and McKee. This is Buckley. Handball goes to Hadley, who from a long way out makes a good fist of the kick. Now what's happened out of all this? Is it a Lynch mark?
Well, Alistair Lynch didn't get off the ground. He just read the flight of the ball better than anybody else, stood his ground and let the ball come down and hit the ample chest.
Great kick by Hadley, and Lynch is going to come in and kick a goal. Well, that was all a bit matter of fact in the end. Great kick by Hadley from just outside, well, just inside 50 in the end. And Lynch in the goal square. It looked like the players had stopped.
It did, because Anthony Rocker, you'll see him flash across, and Anthony pulls out of the contest.
There might have been a free kick just before given to Lynch. Lovely centre from Richard Hadley. Shaw 8 possessions, Ackermanis 4. The honours very much with the Collingwood man. A deliberate challenge, you'd think, set by Nick Malthouse for Shaw against the cheeky Ackermanis. Lions are back in front meanwhile. Here's Chris Scott. Great steal by Johnson. And Locken can line them up. Just on that free kick, we believe it was a free kick to Lynch just before he took the mark for too high. We understand that's the interpretation.
Interesting at that last centre bounce after the Lynch goal. Have a look. You can see Josh Fraser and Anthony Rocker both in there together. Most unusual. Immediately after the bounce and the Rocker kick forward, Rocker pushed into the defensive area.
To regain the lead for Collingwood. Good kick. Free scoring quarter. 3 goals each for the term. The rain has stopped. Ground still slippery. No question about that. It was untidy from Chris Scott. Easy for Johnson and a good kick from Lockham. Magpies in front by 5 points. 55 plays 30. Fraser, nice tap to O'Woden. Couldn't get a clear kick away. Lappin pounces. Socket off the ground by Prestigiacomo. By the throw in. Smack bang on the member's wing.
What's it doing?
It'll be McLaren against Fraser. They both miss it. Knocked forward by Maxwell. Hadley attacks it. Somehow Johnson found Lappin. Kick smothered by Buckley. Ricochets into open territory. Also attacking it hard with Swan. Well done. As the ball ends up with Rowe, who gives it to Shaw. Shaw back to Rowe. And a couple of youngsters combine across half back. He drills it long, looking for Rocker, but in front. Solid was Mal Michael.
Anthony Rocker pushed back to centre half forward. Mal Michael taking him.
This is turning into a tremendous struggle. And it's not half time. The lead's changed 5 times. Collingwood have been in front for about 2/3 of it. 32 minutes to Brisbane's 15. Copeland with the footy. Almost a mark. Black to McRae. Hart, if it'll sit for him. Took the big leg break. Not what he wanted. He needed a little bit of turn from the off. Burns back for the Magpies.
Collingwood 30 handballs to this stage of the game, which isn't a lot, but in these conditions it's probably enough. Brisbane 45.
Great base of the pack work from Power. And the Lions hold it in and look to cause another change in the lead.
And David Cloak in picture there with Jason alongside him.
And I think Julie on the other side. Correct. Was Travis going to join the Pies?
I think he will. I saw him play last week in the Under-18 Championships and he looked very, very good. Thumping long left foot kick.
Well, there's some speculation he may have signed a 4-year deal worth $500,000. That's the word going around, not confirmed of course. As into the goal square go the Lions. Lynch has another fresh area. Maxwell with his head over the football. Fed it out nicely to Holland. Well played Collingwood. Clement, right foot kick. Burns, Hart's in there. So's Prestigiacomo.
Good stuff. Great tackle.
As the umpire said, great stuff. And they'll have a bounce. 45 out from Brisbane's goal. We're near red time on the second turn. Good to hear that encouragement from Hayden Kennedy, who tosses it up, as all the umpires are doing around the ground. Prestigiacomo to Lochan.
No! Don't run it!
That's the Collingwood forward line, and you can see nobody in it at all. Collingwood with their numbers up, putting a flood on the Brisbane forward line. Just look at the numbers there. Appropriate to have a flood on a night like this.
McKee to Johnson. And another ball up. They're unavoidable tonight. has been a discussion point during the week out of our coverage of last Saturday night's match in Sydney. Collingwood free kick. McKee held in the ruck contest. And it does break it up, of course, and get the ball moving if the umpires can find one. Woden in the Johnson direction. The wrong Johnson, though. Ackermanis has got it. Collingwood fans haven't had much opportunity to boo him. He hasn't had much of it. And there is a ball underneath it all. Woden, the last man over it. Bossless footy. And Brisbane with an open 50. Lynch. Brave stuff, young Maxwell. Across the front. And Swan clears for the Magpies. Here's Acker. That was pretty good. And it gives Lappin a chance. And now Hadley. Has he got some in-swing on this? No, he hasn't. The Magpies still lead.
Gee, the Maxwell charge back to help out was really courageous stuff. Prevented the Alistair Lynch mark. Mick Malthouse would be absolutely thrilled with that sort of commitment from his young player.
There's not much meat on the body at this stage either, is there?
Plenty of going in, though.
Kick in, Voss, desperate. Somehow it ends up in the hands of Scott. Kicks it to the hot spot. Powers there, around the corner. Lynch will take the mark.
Michael Voss featured in that passage of play. 8 disposals to the Brisbane skipper in this second term.
He's fearless, isn't he? So Alistair Lynch, he loves these. He'll run around. He'll try and get as close as he can and just pop it over the line. No.
Down, Lynchie back.
Play on. I think he's nailed it anyway. Lynch has got two. Well, they're getting pretty close there. I think Lynch was trying to at one stage just walk to the line and toe tap it over.
Yeah. Oh, that was pretty close. Pretty close.
But the Lions are arguing that he wasn't given 5 metres to take his kick.
We're looking at the Nick Maxwell courageous effort to come back and help out Shane Wakeman. And you can have a look at Alistair Lynch, looked at Maxwell and thought, well, gee, you've made it hard for me. And there we see Alistair Lynch just using the angles to advantage, only taking the one step, but putting the ball on the angle and then just cutting it back through the goals.
Seconds left in the first half. Could Brisbane make something of this move? Locken holds them up.
It doesn't matter. He has no prior opportunity.
Voss and Lynch weren't too happy after the Lynch goal that his room had been limited by Reece Shaw covering the arc of the mark. It didn't matter. Lynch kicked his 617th career goal. The leaders changed for the 6th time of the night. Hadley, McRae kicked it straight into the shins of his skipper, and it is half-time. And in the most difficult conditions, it's been a wonderful half of footy between the two best teams of the last 2 years. And the best team of the last 3 leads at the long interval by just 2 points.
Sunday, the Melbourne Demons host the irrepressible Western Bulldogs. Can the Doggies overturn the reference dangerous Demons?
Diving! Danger!
Melbourne against the Western Bulldogs, Sunday on Fox Footy Channel. The Toyota Prado VX has hill start assist control, so you can climb at 42 degrees from a standing hill start. Downhill assist control, ABS, and emergency brake assist. And finally, another essential four-wheel drive feature, downhill assist control in reverse. Driver assist technology, only from...
What a feeling! I go down. Unsurpassed engineering. Unparalleled technology. It blows away the competition. Champion. Mach 3 Turbo Champion. It's the closest, most comfortable shave. Gillette guarantees it or your money back. Now with a red-hot new look, nothing else even comes close. Test drive one today. Mach 3 Turbo Champion from Gillette. The best a man can get.
Join us on Wednesday, one of the greats from the Bulldogs, Rick Kennedy, a champion fullback. Fast with his fists. Plus a man who played on the wing for St Kilda and Hawthorn. Fast with his feet, Stuart Trott.
Grumpy Old Man, this Wednesday on Fox Footy Channel.
Welcome back to a very cold, very wintry night at the MCG. There we can see it looks like Ben Johnson has got the hot water bottle out for a bit of warmth at half-time in the Magpies rooms. Just 2 points separates the two teams. No injuries to either side. In fact, probably the only injury here at the moment is frostbite for the boundary crew. It really is a cold night. In the rooms at half-time, Collingwood very focused, very intent on having a big second half. Brisbane, it was quiet in their rooms, although I'm told that that is normal for their half-time routine. Confident of having a big second half also. And I was also told by one Brisbane representative that Collingwood is putting on a good show. So we'll see what sort of a show we get in the second half here at the MCG.
And Christy, does the Collingwood coach encourage the use of the hot water bottle on a cold night?
He probably would for me.
A couple of coaches having a chat there too. Mark Williams and Peter Road. Of course, next week the Western Bulldogs play Collingwood on Saturday night, and Mark Williams will be here because they take on Hawthorn tomorrow at the MCG. In fact, Port had a training run here this afternoon, I'm led to believe.
Well, Port's record on the MCG over the years hasn't been all that good, so no doubt they will have set themselves for a win here tomorrow. And Nathan Buckley again going to the forward line. Ryan Loney, number 3, who's kicked a couple of goals for the Magpies. Alistair Lynch, who got 2 goals in that second quarter. And Jason Ackermanis, interesting, Ackermanis is heading towards the forward pocket with Lynch. He played the first half pretty much on the wing and a little bit of a spell on the interchange bench. Ackermanis, he'd be pretty keen to play a better second half.
Couple of interesting stats at half-time. Contested possessions for the season going into this match. Brisbane was second, Collingwood were 12th. It was 67-66 at halfway. And clearances, Brisbane was second, Collingwood 10th. It was Collingwood leading 19-18. They've lifted their game in important areas and they've played according to the conditions.
This puts a lot of pressure on Reece Shaw because he'd be much more comfortable playing up there on the wing. Back there, he realises that if he makes one mistake, it's going to be a goal. So, good coaching by Lee Matthews to put the pressure on Shaw, who didn't have a good grand final last year. So, the asset has been put on young Reece.
And we start the second half with the Lions 2 points in front. Carousel gets the first possession for Bradshaw. Gets a second go at it. Hadley's been impressive. Ball ends up back in the hands of Carosella. Not a lot to kick to. Kicks down the line. Burns. Maxwell, a little underground handball was clever to Johnson. And he finds Fraser on centre wing. Josh Fraser coming up for disposal, number 8. Finds Woden. He's been reasonably quiet, just the 8th touch for him.
Chris Scott doing the defensive work on Nathan Buckley. Buckley starting at full forward.
Woden along, but it was straight down the throat of Bradshaw.
It's a bad kick, Stephen, because he's kicked the ball long, and look where it goes, just near the boundary line, and that makes it too easy for Brisbane. Just needed to put that ball more in the corridor.
Bradshaw from whence it came. Lappin, good hands. Leppich. Play on, says the ump. Another throw in on centre wing. An indeterminate first minute in the quarter. Brisbane have started the quarters well so far. Collingwood have done their best work later. Lucuria. Now Hart leads Holland to it. 2 against him. Did it well. Black. Bradshaw. And Brisbane mount the first real forward move. Would spoil Wakeman. Burns. And goes long. Leppich drummed it beautifully. Johnson now as Brisbane build again. But Swan's in the way. Oh, this might have taken his eye off that. Wayward hand pass Lynch. Boss, Hart. Johnson kept coming. Followed his own kick. Cool side step around McKee. Perfect delivery to McRae.
Gee, they did that well. Brisbane did that so very well. Cool kick into that forward 50. Josh Fraser had dropped back to the goal square, so there's no way known Chris Johnson was going to kick that ball long. Just had the poise to wait and deliver to a player in a little bit of space.
And Voss right into Brodie Holland off the ball. A bit of a shiner on the left eye. He's been dangerous, has Craig McRae. That one has just missed. He's kicked 2, returning from a hamstring injury. He suffered in round 10. Cold night to come back after a hammy, but he's been good. Clement goes pretty much up the middle looking for McKee, but he mistimed the jump, and solid in front was Bradshaw to Power. Inside 50, clever kick, beautifully weighted to Hadley. And Hadley will line up the goal about 48 metres out on a slight angle.
Let's just go back and have a look at the Brodie Holland go at the football about a minute ago. And McKee certainly should have spoiled, but here we've got Voss. Yeah, well, look, nothing wrong with that. It just showed the determination of Voss to get down low, get in and under and win that ball. But Steve McKee was the one who let Collingwood down. The long kick, he was in the position at the back, and he didn't get a spoil on it.
So Richard Hadley, the man who played in a premiership in his 4th game of AFL football. Another behind to Brisbane. A second to Hadley. 39 plays 35. Lions by 4 points. Brave little kick from Clement, but here's a lovely kick of the ball. Finds Lucuria. Now Maxwell. Back to Lucuria as they get it moving now. But Leppich short circuits that one. Well, who was he after there? That was an awful placement. And Maxwell gets it back for Collingwood. Clement. Fraser arriving, can't hang on. Burns, Lockham. Collingwood a chance here. Loney's been good up there, and he does it pretty well here. Push in the back. Collingwood free kick. Gee, I reckon that's a tough call.
Got to see this again. My initial reaction is it's a tough call on Leppich.
Oh, that's got him the back, surely. He drove him forward, didn't he? From the side.
Well, what's he to do? The momentum of Woden is going forward. What else can Leppich do?
He tackled it. He took him down on the side, though.
I reckon it's a tough call. Woden was always dangerous because he was the player who was going to crumb that contest.
That's a great tackle. On with the umpire on that one. I don't reckon he would have gone forward unless he was pushed in the back.
Well, he was running 100 miles per hour towards goal, Tim. That was the only direction he could go, and Lepic was running in the same direction. I think it's a tough call.
The lead changes for the 7th time.
Interesting one, isn't it?
Well, Woden got to the ball first.
Lepic is desperately trying to go to the roll to the side because he doesn't want to give the free kick away. Daniel Bradshaw, 4 disposals in this third quarter. We're only 6 minutes in. Started the game in defence, so he's taken the place of Jonathan Brown in this second half.
It was a good result for Collingwood. The entries to the 54-1 Brisbane's way for the quarter. Collingwood the first goal. Maggies rest back the lead. They lead by 2. Voss playing a wonderful game. To half forward to Power. Keeps it short to Lappin. Long way from goal. Pops up looking for Sharman. Ball drifts across the face. Wakeland gets there first. Ackermanis is in there. So is McRae. Got it out to Carousella. And they'll have a bounce. 35 metres out from Brisbane's goal at the Punt Road end. Collingwood by 2. Up she goes. Sharman the tap. Swan couldn't get a kick away. Sharman working hard. Got a little toe poke. Ackermanis is there. Fed out the handball. Carousella. Tackled by Johnson. Got it to Lepic. Left foot snap. Just to Lepic. The 10 one goals of the year.
Absolutely sensational bit of football by the Brisbane Lions. The centre half back who's played plenty of football in the forward line. He knows how to kick a goal. Has been leading goal kicker for Brisbane over the years on his non-preferred side. And have a look at the goal umpire. He is in perfect position to call this. Desperate lunge there. And that is the goal of the night.
Talking about the highs and lows for Justin Lepic. That was a magnificent goal. Not only was the goal umpire in perfect position, he was probably also in shock to see it heading straight through. It'll be a ball up. It was actually an excellent bit of goal umpiring, wasn't it? Because he got into position, he got out of the line of the ball so that he could see whether it was touched or not. Sharman, a good clean tap for Brisbane, but not able to break it open. And there'll be another ball up.
I reckon the umpires have been really good tonight, Tim, in these situations because there's plenty of stoppages, plenty of players, but they've explained everything to the players every time. Their communication's been strong and consistent.
Black bangs it forward. Acker, can he do something? O'Shaw's got him. Oh, he's been his match tonight.
Where's Shaw? Where's Shaw? Where's Shaw? Where's the Shaw free kick? Where's backhander Jason? Backhander in the guts.
Backhander in the guts.
The umpire said a backhander in the guts. I think we'll see it come up now.
Oh, that's not a free kick.
Tiggy Touchwood.
Gee whiz. That's just... let the game go. Free kicks 21-8. Collingwood's way. Even Magpie supporters would have to be reasonably satisfied with that. Can Lepic do it again? Same pocket. Gives it away this time for Black. Oh, they are unbelievable. The challenge comes. The Lions lift. They lead by 10 points.
Well, it was Lepic in exactly the same position. And he just said, no, I'll give it to Simon Black. And Black on his preferred left side, able to put it through. And the Brisbane fans loving it. It's not Glenn Archer, is it?
I was thinking the same thing.
I
don't think Glenn's as happy as that tonight.
Actually, I reckon the free kick might have been for a bit of a kick, not a kick, but a boot to the groin.
Boss, quick kick out of the pack. Here come the Lions again. Lynch dives desperately, couldn't take the mark. Hamill comes out to Carousel from McRae. Left foot snap. Here's another one. No, it's just offline. 1 goal, 2 to Blake Carousel.
Brisbane just dominating out at the centre bounces. 8-3 for the game. 3 straight in this third quarter, and Michael Voss featuring in most of those.
The moral of the story is don't provoke them. Big fly to McKee, but a reckless one for Brisbane. Power. Sharman. They're on fire at the moment. Copeland banging it long. Goal! They lead by 17. This has been the response of a champion team. No question about that.
Well, the challenge was thrown to them, Tim. Everybody thought when the conditions turned nasty it would suit Collingwood, and it does. Definitely does. Collingwood took advantage. Got in front. And this is the reason why Reece Shaw got the free kick. It was the Ackermanis boot.
But didn't the umpire say a backhander?
He did say that.
So that was the first one then. It was the initial contact. It wasn't the second contact because the umpire said backhander.
Well, you're right there. So there's probably 2 there. Let's see if they can get another clearance, Brisbane. First one that Collingwood have got for some time.
Brisbane have turned it on here the last 5 minutes, and here they come again as Johnson goes to Hadley. Just defensive side of centre wing. McGrath looking for options, so it's a brave kick. It's a very brave kick. Loney comes into the picture, is able to spoil Scott, who's under the pump. Will he head for the boundary line? He can't. Michael comes in to lend support. Now Lockyer, little kick, gains 20 metres for his team.
A very risky kick by Ashley McGrath to put that ball across from one back flank to the other. Just too much hang time with the kick.
Suddenly the contested possessions are a lot different. Yep. And the entries to the 50 since the 10-minute mark of the second quarter, 21, Collingwood just achieving their 5th, 21-5. So the trend has been on for a while. It's been translated onto the scoreboard. Brisbane kicking to a 17-point lead.
Steve McKee, he's the Collingwood ruckman, not going down to ruck in their forward line. You can see the extra Collingwood man, 3 against 2.
What brilliant goals have been kicked by Brisbane in this term. 3 of them on the trot. And here they are on the break again. Voss pumping it for Bradshaw. Throw in eventually. Lepic inspiring the Lions. Black following up with a goal from almost the same spot. Then Copeland, a long bomb, giving Mick Malthouse a lot to think about.
Got his arm, free kick.
Just getting their game going, the Brisbane Lions. Without the hail and the rain and the ground drying out a bit, they're starting to get their handball game flowing. 26 handballs to 6 in this third term.
Mel Michael switches to the Nimbus side. Scott to Lappin, who's got about 25 metres on his nearest opponent. Has time to steady and shoots it long. McKee in the hole. Drop the mark. Lynch in there throwing his weight around. McKee forced to go to the boundary line.
It's on.
Can he weave some magic left foot snap?
Alistair Lynch, Wakeland and McKee. It'll be a Collingwood free kick. Alistair Lynch went ballistic at one stage here, and you can see a little bit of it. And that is one strong man.
Gee, bit of feeling between those two. Wonder why. Wakeland Lynch still going at it off the ball. The umpire forced to come in again. Things hiding up at the MCG. Oh! Very crude tackle by Leon Davis. McRae, good contributor. Wastes no time. Here's Lynch. Great effort by Wakeland. Tremendous spoil for Swan. McKee. Lockyer. Good combination. McKee and Lockyer. Now Johnson. Rocket from behind Boss, and he stole it from his fingertips. Beautifully done to Buckley. Now Fraser. Got it. Tell you what, if he gets this goal going, give Darryl Wakeland, Shane Wakeland a pat on the back.
Fantastic spoil by Shane Wakeland. Buckley to Fraser. And we'll have a look at it here. And you can see the aggro between Lynch and Wakeland. Looks like it was initiated by Lynch. And there's the spoil. Alistair thought it was on the chest, and the fist just came in the way. The Magpies desperately in need of a goal, and Josh Fraser delivers. That was just their third forward 50 entry, and we'll have a look at this again. And you can see Wakeland copping one, and two, and then Rocker gets into lend support.
Fortunately, the contact all seemed to come from the inside of the arm. Another win for Reece Shaw. Zachamanis is benched again. Crucial goal for the Pies. Margin cut back to 11. Sharman knocks it forward for Brisbane. Nodding's on the ground. Got it to Lappin. Here's Blackhead over the footy. Gang tackle. Brilliant handball back to Lappin. Lappin pops it into open territory. Wakeland brilliant again. But Brisbane have the numbers. Handball to the goal square. Power.
Another centre clearance. Another just bash the ball forward, which Brisbane have done for the last 3-4 seasons. No finesse, just belt the ball forward. And the unselfish play of Craig McRae to dish it off to his mate in Luke Power. Typical Brisbane Lions ruck work at the stoppages. Belt it forward, numbers running towards their goal, just a swarm of them. Dish it off if you can. Get the ball into the forward 50 quick. Front and square. McRae could have kicked the goal, gave it to his mate. Quick answer to the Collingwood goal.
Again, it's out to 17 points. Mighty third term this from the Lions. Buckley. Nothing there for Collingwood, and Caracella back with the flight.
Lions did a double disposals.
Collingwood 64 to 32 this quarter. Bruce Johnson. One-way traffic at the moment. Power for Lynch. This time. Frustration for Shane Wakeland.
Go back. Just suck it up.
Just before that ball came down, Lynch used his strength, his experience, pushed back on Wakeland. You just see that? Oh, jeez.
That's going to be a free kick to Lynch, surely.
Well, it's open slather there, isn't it? There is no love lost between these two.
Number 3 for Lynch. Brisbane by 23 points. It's a war. It is a two-man war. What a quarter this has been from the Lions. 5 goals to 2 to take control.
And have a look at this. Bang. what it's like when you've got to play on a power forward. One of the strongest players, gives him a clip behind the ear. Lynch keeps his eye on the ball, takes the mark, kicks the goal, gets the victory.
Thanks, guys.
Jesus, good contest, isn't it? And Michael Voss, for the first time in the game, has gone to the goal square to have a little bit of a spell. And it's the first time they've been afforded that luxury, the Lions, but they are dominating this third term.
Power out to Hart, back to Power. Steadies on the left. Good smother by Prestigier Como. Holland's there. Good handball under pressure. To Lockyer, but only as far as McGrath. Ashley McGrath.
Can you just back a metre, mate, please?
Decides to drill it long. Charman's there, so is Fraser, who fists from behind. Shaw gets the spoils. Nicely played by Reece Shaw. That was clever. He's had a good night.
He has had a good night, Reece Shaw, and this will do his confidence the world of good. He was one of the Collingwood players who I thought came out of last year's grand final well and truly down, and to his credit, he's beaten one of the game's superstars in Ackermanis tonight.
And here he goes again. Well won by Shaw, who goes short and finds Rowe. Those rankings interesting. Brisbane with the top 6 players. They were dominating them at half-time, even though the margin was only 2 points. Perhaps they've read this game well. Michael. The Lions have an extra gear, and they've produced it in this quarter.
Love a challenge too, Tim. And they were challenged at quarter time when they were behind. Rain was coming down. And I reckon they enjoy beating Collingwood more than anyone else. Maybe Essendon.
Toying with them a little here until they break it open. Carosella keeps it wide. Scott drilling it to Notting, who must have been getting a bit cold sitting on the bench. He hasn't made a very good fist of that. Swan in the Loney direction, but Brisbane with numbers in every contest. Power, Carosella, Copeland. Here comes Lynch again, with Voss there in support. Good man to have in support. Lockyer. Rowe. And the Magpies. Swan working their way out of it. And McGrath has been unloaded. He picks himself up very slowly. Johnson comes away with it. Now Lucuria.
Enormous courage by Tarkin Lockyer, because McGrath had to sit on them. He was the one who came off second best, but Lockyer just went when he had to go.
Gee, Brisbane with all the numbers across half back. Scott, easy pickings for him as he goes into the middle. And here come the Lions on the rebound again. Dylan McLaren sweeps the handball to McRae. He's got options galore. One of them's Lepich. Making spaces, Bradshaw receives now, runs to 45, Bradshaw goes bang. Superb play, Brisbane.
It was a really smartly set up goal. And there's Tarkin Lockyer showing enormous courage, McGrath injuring himself. But gee, it was a smart goal, because Brisbane couldn't afford to kick long to the goal square here, because Fraser's back. It's a 2-on-1 situation. So Lepich treaded water, if you like, just waited and waited, gave it to Bradshaw eventually. They got over Josh Fraser.
For the Magpies to hide right now. Brisbane have kicked 6 goals to 1 for the quarter. Now Brisbane with the top 6, 9 of the top 12, 10 of the top 13. Johnson, little tunnel ball to Black. Showing us all the party tricks now. Hart to Power. A wonderful centre for Notting. Now he's warming up. Flat delivery gives Lynch a big show. Wakeland did very well again. Voss. Oh, the cream on the cake. In fact, the cake is covered with cream. What a champion.
Well, let's have a look at the best player in the game. Smart underground handball by Chris Johnson to Black. Notting gets it in quick. Strength. Watch the strength.
Shane Wakeland is coming off with what looks like a broken arm.
That might have happened, Christie, in that last spoiling attempt by Wakeland.
He's certainly in a lot of pain.
Let's have a look at it. Gee, they're at each other. Oh, I reckon he's fallen on the arm. The weight of Lynch on the arm. Or shoulder. Hey, he's battled gamely because it's just been a flood of football coming down on top of Shane Wakeland in this third quarter.
Absolutely tremendous. And for the second time against Brisbane this year, he may have seriously injured himself. Fraser bangs it inside 50.
Gee, they're playing well, Brisbane.
Scott takes the mark.
This third quarter, the premiership quarter, if you like, and they have won 12 of the 16 third quarters this year.
That's it there, Shane. Stay there, Shane.
Bit for Mark Williams to think about as he watches it. Lappin with disposal 21 to the wing. Shaw. Ball a little bit high. He receives the free kick. He wastes no time. And he goes back into the corridor and finds Lucuria.
Thank you, Chris.
He's been pretty quiet by his standards. This is touch number 13. Goes wide to the flank. Loney presents nicely. Gives it off to Davis. Davis inside 50, looking for Rocker in front. Couldn't hang on to it, but has time to recover. Dishes off the handball to Davis. It was too hot for him. Michael, sweeping handball back to the wing. How about that for a handball? To Johnson. Slips at the crucial moment. Collingwood get numbers and Swan puts the Magpies back into attack. Off the side of the boot, and it just slewed high. Black for Leppich. And the juggernaut ploughs on. And another wonderful pumping hand pass from Leppich for the defender Johnson, who unselfishly delivers to about the one man who's had a black night until now. It's been an awesome 15 minutes, hasn't it?
Just a domination. That's where Wakeland injured the arm with the weight of Lynch coming down on top of him. And that's disappointing for Shane Wakeland. I thought he was terrific tonight. Forward 50 entries this quarter, 18 to 5.
Well, a broken jaw in their early season clash and more damage lower down in this one. He's been brave, Wakeland, but it's come to a sticky end. Clement drills it long. His target is Cole. Good mark. No, not quite. Carosella on the football back for Brisbane to Lappin. Again, options are plenty. One of them is Notting. Long driving kick. Lynch wrestles with Prestigiacomo, who once again did fabulously well to spoil. But boy, are the Collingwood defenders under the pump. Lucuria looking for Rocket. No mark. Power. Great hands to Copeland. Squeezes the kick out. Woden. Leppich was up to the task as he knocked it forward to Black. Back a menace. Acker can go all the way here. He has two bounces. He runs to 45. It's a wobbly old kick. Voss gathers. Handballs back, but it goes straight to Prestigiacomo and the Pies out of danger.
Gee, the Leppich knock-on was magnificent.
The kick just might have gone all the way, although Voss, of course, had to react quickly. Now Collingwood with precious few seconds here. 36 points down. We wouldn't have believed it possible at half-time when Brisbane led by 2 in difficult conditions. Locken going wide. Woden. And time might beat the Magpies. Not just time, but been a mighty rival. And that's it. What a quarter that's been. It's been a privilege to watch it. Brisbane still very much the champions. They lead by 36 points. And they kicked 7 goals to 2 straight in a devastating 30 minutes of footy.
There's 30 minutes of power, skill and will. And Michael Voss led the way. A magnificent quarter of football. They are the benchmark. Everybody knows it. They continue to prove it.
3/4 time at the MCG. Brisbane leads Collingwood by 6 straight goals.
Tonight, the Cats play host to the Swans. Geelong have humiliated every visitor to School Stadium this season, so Lucy's boys must be on their game to avoid a similar fate. It's Geelong versus Sydney tonight on Fox Footy Channel.
So 10 seconds left and the crowd going, Gibbo, 10, 9, I'm flying down the sideline, I'm flying down. And they're like, Gibbo,
Dewey's new. What mates do.
Some people destroy their lives. Others will do anything to destroy yours.
Drop your weapon! I know what you want to hear.
2 months ago, you helped organize a shipment.
I don't know what the final destination was.
2-3 million of these come through here every year. Now, what's the odds against any one of them being searched?
There's a shipping problem at the last door. There's something went wrong.
An uncompromising look at the link between illicit trafficking and international terrorism.
You're gonna have an Al-Qaeda label on your neck.
Your buddy disappeared in the company of a drug dealer.
He was ambushed. They shot him as cheap and they grabbed him. They're being bugged and followed by the agency.
Why?
There's something about Mike's disappearance. She doesn't want to tell you.
Featuring a quality ensemble cast helmed by 24's director Stephen Hopkins.
Wife and daughter died on that ship. You're the only one who can help.
Lost long before we dropped the first bomb on the Taliban. What do you do with the doubts? Where you put them?
For the first time on TV, Traffic the miniseries, coming soon to Showtime.
It was a week of numbers. Lloyd kicked 9, Lynch eyed 300, and the Cats stayed in touch with the top 4 last week on White Line Fever.
I wouldn't want to change my position or my impact in the game to be a captain.
I'd like to think that one day there might be a Tassie team.
Playing some pretty exciting footy and it's a great place to be.
Go to bed.
Monday, Premiership player Wayne Schwass is here, while Collingwood's Nathan Buckley will tell us how long he'll have left as Collingwood skipper. That's White Line Fever, 7:30 Eastern.
Fed out the handball. Carousella, tackled by Johnson. Got it to Leppich. Left foot smack! Just to Leppich! Supporters would have to be reasonably satisfied with that. Can Leppich do it again? Same pocket. Gives it away this time for Black. Oh, Brisbane, their awesome best in the third quarter here at the MCG. They kicked 7 goals to 2. And the margin at the last change is 36 points. 12-11 plays 7 goals 5. And that quarter had just about everything. Just about everything. But the centre clearances from Brisbane, Robert, all their big guns fired. Black 10 touches that quarter. Lappin 9. Power 10. Carousella 9. Voss 8. They got plenty of it.
They just dominated the centre clearances. They got their handball game going. The game freed up for them. Obviously, the conditions suited as it dried out. Forward 50 entries, just an absolute domination. And I just love the contest. If we have a look here, just for the third quarter, look at the handballs. Now, they are a high handballing team, Brisbane. Collingwood are not. Collingwood's ranked about 15th. But once the game freed up through the handball, well, they just came into their own. Inside 50s, 20-6 uncontested possessions. All the other teams watching them, they would be in awe of what they saw in that third term.
Including Mark Williams sitting in the grandstand with perhaps the team that has seen to the genuine contenders this year. Christy Mulhouse, the bad news for the Pies. Got a feel for Shane Wakelin. What's the news?
You certainly do have to feel for him, and he cut a very lonely figure during that third quarter break. He remained on the bench while the rest of his team got together in the huddle, and I just went and spoke to him, and he's not very happy. He's in a lot of pain, not sure whether the arm is broken at this stage or not. He's icing his forearm and his wrist, but he's certainly in a lot of pain and very miserable, as he would be.
Well, it was a great tussle. It turned into a war in the third quarter, didn't it? It really did. And for the second time this year, he's come off second best with a nasty injury. Let's hope it's not broken.
And Michael Voss taking charge at the centre bounce. Nathan Buckley starting in at the centre for the first time to start a quarter in first, second and third quarters. He, of course, was starting at full forward, so the two captains against each other.
So Brisbane by 6 goals as we start the final term. Leading possession getters for Brisbane, 26 to Black, 22 to Lappin, 21 each to Power and Voss. Well, for Collingwood, 15 each to Lucuria and Clement, 13 to Burns, Shaw and McKee. Collingwood into attack, Hunt Road in. McGrath cleverly won. Is it Copeland? About 60 out from the Magpies' goal. Next week, Brisbane host Adelaide at the Gabba. And Collingwood next Saturday night take on the Bulldogs at Telstra Dome. Fraser smashes it back inside 50. Power gets there first. And Chum can't take the juggler. Another throw in. Wakeland out of the match. Steve McKee, who had been influential in the first half, warming the bench now. Collingwood free kick.
Well, Jamie Chan has just stomped on Fraser.
Rocker, good mark. With Michael not many millimetres away. He's within range. The angle, the tester.
Well, he didn't stomp on him, he just bowled him over. And you can see the runner, Craig Starcevich, has gone out, former Collingwood Premiership player, just to remind him to keep his mind on the job.
Margin 36. Rocker hasn't made the distance. Buckley should do it from there. Is that the start of a fight back? That up deliberately.
I reckon he's having a shot, Tim, but gee, wasn't the Buckley reflexes to take that slippery ball cleanly and then throw it onto the left boot and angle it back. Absolutely first rate.
A perfect example of the tremendous skill possessed by Nathan Buckley. Made a really difficult snap look easy. 5 goals are different.
Stephen, you were saying before the game, Buckley's performances against Brisbane over the years have been very good.
I'll mention that shortly as Voss takes the ball away for Brisbane. Ackermanis to Black on hands and knees, intercepted by Buckley. Over to Cole, to Lucuria, to half forward, to Johnson.
Well, Johnson has just absolutely destroyed Shane O'Brien tonight.
So in the Collingwood games, when Buckley's played against the Brisbane Lions, Buckley's polled in 5 of the 9 games, plus he won a Norm Smith in the grand final. So in 6 of the 9 games against Brisbane, Buckley has started. He averages 29 touches a game against Brisbane.
It's a great effort against the best, isn't it?
Lynch might have hurt himself here. Nothing. Shows speed, acceleration, but ran too far. Now as Alistair Lynch twinged the hammy or done a calf, he doesn't look good. The doctor's out. Here's the lead.
He's just pulled up, hasn't he, before that ball's got to him. And you'd have to think it's a muscle injury of some kind in the leg. They'll get him off as quick as they can.
Might be without 2 key forwards next week. Well, Alistair can go and sit next to his friend Shane.
Well, Martin Pike coming on to replace Alistair Lynch, and that's disappointing for him. He's played a very good game tonight. I've really enjoyed the contest between Lynch and Shane Wakeland. Now both of them are on the bench.
Good scouting by Hadley, and he's gone. Just had a moment of opportunity to get rid of the ball. Davis. Collingwood pressing again. Michael made the spoil that time. Power. McGrath took his time, put Scott under pressure. Copeland. And Brisbane showing they are fallible. Oh, that's a high tackle. And a very crude one from Rocker. Very crude tackle. Very dangerous one.
You summed it up. Crude and dangerous. Bullet gate stuff.
Now, Rocker looks surprised that he's been penalised, which confirms to me that players don't understand this rule. You can't tackle the head. You've got to be careful. The onus is on you as a tackler not to hit players in the head.
Just go on your mark. You can take it.
Didn't believe he'd done anything wrong.
Well, he's got to realise he has.
So Copeland's up and is okay. That's the good news for him and probably for Rocker as well. Voss to Lepic. Talks one inside 50. Hart runs onto it. Swan snaps at his heels. Prestigiacomo, little soccer, but Hart got it back. Ackermanis twists and turns. That is a brilliant kick.
And Martin Pike will be pretty happy to have taken that mark. Started the game at centre-half forward. Got frustrated, gave away free kicks. Lee Matthews said, come to the bench. And look at the hooked kick by Ackermanis.
He's had the one kick tonight and a couple of handballs, Martin Pike.
He's got a big few weeks in front of him, Martin Pike, because he'll have to look after the positions that Alistair Lynch and Jonathan Brown play.
So Martin Pike gets his first, courtesy of a brilliant pass from Jason Ackermanis. And you're right, if Brown's got 3 more weeks of suspension, and if Lynch has done the hamstring or the calf, it could be, 4 weeks on it.
That's right.
At the grand old age of 36.
We're guessing at the moment. Christie might be able to find out for us, but it doesn't look good.
They're actually just rubbing both his calves at the moment. He doesn't necessarily look injured, but perhaps cramping.
That's a pretty relaxed scene. He looks far less concerned about it than we are. You wouldn't be too concerned about the scoreboard. Brisbane lead by 36 points.
Thank you.
Shane O'Brien in picture, former Brisbane Lion. He's really struggling for form. Just had the 2 disposals tonight. And his position in the team has to be in jeopardy.
His 99th game for Collingwood tonight is O'Brien. Wonder if he'll play his 100th next week. And Brisbane just dominating around the footy. The Norm Smith medalist, top of the list.
Dive in on it, holding the ball.
Pretty tough on a night like this, I'd have thought. Burns. A good attempt. Just couldn't quite clutch it. There's O'Brien, and that's a good kick. And a cruel bounce. Tremendous attempt. McGrath short to Johnson, who finds with a beautiful kick now Michael. Gives it to Hadley. He goes to the 50 looking for Pike. Here's Black. Kept it alive. Now Notting sees it over the line. Collingwood Brains Trust look on. They've averaged 10 goals a game against Brisbane in the last 6 matches between the teams.
It's not many, is it? They don't move the ball anywhere near as quickly as Brisbane do. It's too much stop-start. But very few teams do move the ball as well as Brisbane. Daniel Bradshaw been moved back to full forward. Prestigiacomo, his opponent, and again, whenever a Lynch or a Jonathan Brown are missing from this team, Bradshaw seems to rise to the occasion. They'll rely on Bradshaw and Pike over the next few weeks.
Well, Bradshaw's kicked 22 goals, 6 this season. Being a starting 18 for most teams. He would. In fact, probably 15 other teams.
It's interesting through the week, it came to light. Jason Ackermanis in his Brownlow year earning well less than $300,000 a season. A lot of these Brisbane players could be earning twice as much as they're earning, but they don't want to leave a club which is so successful. It's a good lesson.
Leon Davis working hard, forces it forward. Lucuria. Here's a chance for Rowe. Julian Rowe gets kick a goal and leave football. Sneaked it home for a point. Of course, one or two club presidents, Rob, would want the footnote to be added that the extra 600 large doesn't hurt.
What's that worth? One absolute top liner?
Well, spread around it's a few, isn't it? Johnson favours the long one here because Brisbane have the numbers. Good tackle by Fraser.
One thing you can't buy, Tim, is heart and spirit, which that Brisbane team has plenty of.
Cole, well hit in by McGrath.
On the boundary, free kick. Back there. Kick the ball out of 50.
Oh dear. It's all gone belly up for Collingwood. And McGrath's effort to pen Cole in pays a greater dividend than he would have expected. His kick's not great though. Reece Shaw can hold his head up. O'Brien. Rowe now. Desperately wanting to play on, but there was nowhere to go. The first half of this match, not unlike that grand final of a couple of years ago when Brisbane just couldn't shake Collingwood off, but in the third quarter tonight they did it in no uncertain manner. They just continue to amaze with their capacity to take it up a notch when the challenge comes. And they've had this one won a long way from home. And they're still hitting it hard in the clinches. Buckley still resisting. Woden. Copeland keeps it pretty safe with some help from Hadley.
For the ball up.
Ball up whistled before the throw-in.
Been a really good game for Chris Scott. Missed a lot of this season with injury, the first part of the season.
Brisbane.
And Chris Scott, I think, has really played a solid game, playing pretty much on the last line of defence tonight. But that'll be something that will please Lee Matthews.
Jamie Charman, who was 22 yesterday, kicks it to the wing. To Voss. And we'll have another throw-in.
Jason Ackermanis, interviewed through the week, said that this man, number 3, Michael Voss, is the happiest person he's ever met.
Oh, another superb handball from Black. So Justin Leppich, who puts it back inside 50. Bradshaw's in front. Shaw taps it out, only as far as Hadley, back to Pike. Slaps it cleverly to Power. In the pocket is Hart. Another throw in. Black's up to 29 disposals, which is a match high.
Alistair Lynch jogging on the boundary line. That is a good sign for Brisbane. If he'd torn a calf muscle or a hamstring, you wouldn't see that.
Oh, Lappin picked it off the pack. Taha, here's another one for Brisbane. The 33-year-old.
Well, the quick
handball. His first goal for the night.
Played had a very good game. Have a look at the hit over the back. Unselfish play by Lappin. He could have easily blazed away.
Didn't. Probably read that he had a left footer coming. I'll give it to him. Well, it has become a one-sided affair. Brisbane by 40. And they are hitting Collingwood hard. Remember all that talk before last year's grand final about keeping your head over the ball?
Sean Hart, Norm Smith medalist, triple premiership player, game number 266.
And again, it's Brisbane winning it out of the crush. Power to Voss. Now McGrath, 2-on-1 here, Notting can join the club. If he'd come down early and been home to Navarre during the week, he would have bumped into Tommy Hafey. Well, he decides not to have a shot. He'll give another one to Pike.
Again, an example of being unselfish. Martin Pike, till three-quarter time, had a dog of a game. Had hardly touched the football, had been on the interchange bench. He comes back onto the field, and he's kicked 2 goals in the final quarter. And he'll leave tonight's game feeling a lot better about himself than he did about 20 minutes ago.
Turning into a rout now. 46 points is the margin. And here come the Lions again. Hart. Kicks to Voss. Kept his feet. And we'll have a bounce. 15 out from the Lions goal. Lachlan doesn't want to give it up. A little bit of how to do. And now we'll have a thrower. Lappin. Fed it out. Pike's got another one. Pike's got 3. Pike with twist. He's done nothing for 3 quarters and he's kicked 3 goals in the last. And looks like a few of the Lions fans are giving the Collingwood supporters a goodbye. He might join the 5 Premiership club this year.
Well, again, handball from Lappin across to Martin Pike. 3 goals in the final quarter. And let's have a look at Josh Fraser at the last centre bounce. You can just see the eyes. The eyes go on to Jamie Charman. He's not looking at the ball at all. He's concerned. And again, the eyes, and Charman's had enough of it. That's why Charman's getting angry. Because Josh Fraser's not looking at the footy. He's a little bit concerned about the bigger, stronger player. So he's just sort of protecting himself. Have a look at that. And that's happened all night.
Tough ruckman, Charman. Told by Brisbane Insider, he's a nice young bloke who gets a bit of white line fever. And I'm sure Lee Matthews enjoys it. That's Julian Rowe. Cole. Mercuria onto Burns. Collingwood forced wide. It's been a mighty performance by Brisbane. 52 points in front, and 50 of it has come since half-time. And the half-smile that we saw on the President's face earlier in the match has been well and truly wiped off. Got a bit of high tackle in there. Well, the umpire was blindsided. Couldn't see what we saw. So, a baller.
Played very well, Justin Leppich. Now joined the 200 club.
Buckley to Burns. Lepic getting back. And he finds Lappin, who is the 6-1 Brownlow medal favourite. Three of the Fab Five have got Brownlows, and only 30 possessions tonight. Oh, I don't think Pike's going to get another one. He handballs back to Bradshaw, who joins in the party. No, he doesn't. It hits the post. But really, at the moment, they're just doing as they wish.
Oh, they're just toying with the opposition, aren't they? Just the power and the strength, experience, talent. And I reckon they came out after half-time with an absolute point to prove. And they do enjoy playing Collingwood, particularly here at the MCG.
Seem to be enjoying it more each time they play them. The size of their victory margins, just punctuated by that loss in the qualifying final last year, has been growing. Most recently 60. Right now, they lead this one by 53. And they might get another one if Collingwood kick the ball like that in defence. Shaw's got it though. His hands have been safe tonight. Now Cole. Shaw once more back to Cole. And it fell conveniently for Johnson. Nothing will go right for the Magpies. Lepic running like a 2-year-old colt.
Doesn't he look fit? He looks absolutely super fit, Justin Lepic. And there's Nigel Lappin in picture. 30 disposals, leading possession getter on the ground. Interesting the way that Lee Matthews uses Nigel Lappin. In many, many games, he starts Lappin as a defender, half-back flanker, even centre-half-back in a couple of games. And then as the game progresses, puts him into the midfield.
And Leon Davis has kicked a goal. Consolation prize there for the Pies. Nice snap off the pack from Leon Davis. What are his stats tonight? 9 kicks, 1 goal. Brisbane work it forward. Cole. He's up to 13 disposals. Goes out wide to his skipper in Buckley. And that's a good mark from the Courier. Is he paying it? He is. Fair enough too. And Paul the Courier. This is touch number 20 for him. Kicks to the 50. Rocker. Michael again. Number 1 spoiler in the competition. Brisbane have numbers. This is Black's 30th to the wing. Well done by Maxwell. Buckley tackled by Lappin. The bounce.
Just wonder why Buckley didn't get a free kick if Woden got one the time before. Let's have a look at the Lappin tackle.
The umpire said he came from the side. Fraser the tap. Lockyer can't get there, so this game dying a slow death now. The Lions well in front. 108 playing 61. Not much to cheer about in the second half if you're a Collingwood fan. Unfortunately, Shane Wakeland's off injured, which what may be a broken bone in the arm. We hope not. Lynch is off for Brisbane with some sort of muscle injury, calf or hamstring. Fraser to Lockyer, now to O'Brien. Put Johnson right under the pump. Quick kick by Lockyer once again. Michael underneath it. Rocket does well to spoil. Slaps it towards the boundary. And as far as Lockyer should kick a goal, and does. 50th career goal for Tarkin Lockyer. As the Maggies here have snared a couple of consolation goals in the last couple of minutes.
He doesn't miss too many, Tarkin Lockyer. Interesting to see Jason Ackermanis now playing in the back pocket on Leon Davis. Started on a wing, went to the half-forward line, now playing where he started his career, which was back pocket, way back in the Brisbane Bears days.
You used to play him in the back pocket, did you?
Good way to learn your footy, Tim.
You taught him well. Here's Burns. And Rocker can have a shot. The score just one behind for the night. Tempted to give it away. Collingwood, in the last 6 matches against Brisbane, have averaged just over 10 goals a game. They're back into their average tonight in the dying minutes. Rocker a chance just to boost it ever so slightly. Lions surrounding him, putting on as much pressure as they legally can, but he's not diverted. And the faithful remain that. But by gee, the hammering they received in the third quarter tonight would test the faith of all but the staunchest. How have you rated the battle, Rob? Michael versus Rocker.
Oh, I think Mel Michaels won. I think Anthony Rocker's tried hard. But you called Mel Michaels being the #1 spoiler in the game, which he is by a long shot. And you can't always measure his game on statistics because some of his spoils are as good as a kick.
Brisbane still by 6 goals. There's a bit of that white line fever you're talking about, Tim. A bit of Hayden Kennedy school teaching background coming out. Mercuria. Cole. Voss, tap forward in the direction of Hadley. Can he pick it up cleanly? He can. To Carosella, who's had a good night. On this occasion, he puts it out of bounds on the full. Helped set it up in the first half, did Blake Carosella. James Clement takes the free kick. Hines Johnson. He goes inside the centre square. Lockyer just can't hang on to it. Cole, who's not stopped trying, but he's been pinged for a throw.
Good prices, good. Hey, what's your arms? Play Carosella.
Not allowed to chuck the ball in footy. Carosella's football. Lockyer making the spoil on McLaren, but McLaren gets it back. Not a great kick. Woden to Burns. Weary old kick straight back to McLaren, who's ridden forward by Lockyer. Or McDonald, rather. Joel McDonald. Up to Ackermanis. And another good, not centering ball so much, but controlled left foot kick for Carosella. Wet ball, tired legs, outside 50. Wet for Charman. And the tired legs won. Poor kick. It's been 34,236 very hardy supporters here tonight. They braved the conditions, which were extraordinary in the first quarter. Somewhat subdued since then. Thank goodness. The umpires, the players, the boundary riders, the cameramen, the supporters have all felt it here tonight on a cold Melbourne night at the MCG. Carousella pops it over the top to Voss, and Michael Voss has kicked a goal. No, he hasn't. He's missed. 1-1 tonight to Michael Voss. There's Alistair Lynch, game number 300. Not the way he'd want to finish it. Hopefully the injury's not too serious. We'll find out probably afterwards.
Let's hope Shane Wakeman's injury's not serious too. I really enjoyed that contest between those
Lynch
two.
is coming back on. So Alistair Lynch is coming back on, so it mustn't be too bad as Justin Lepich has a break. So in his 300th game, Alistair Lynch is going to finish out the game.
And that's a nice touch by Lee Matthews. He would realise that there's not long to go, and lets the 300-gamer enjoy the occasion.
The masked magpie. Hope he's not stopping at a 7-Eleven on the way home. Just seconds left of Fancy, so Lynch reintroduced pretty much so they can carry him off. So they might need one of those MCG cranes to do it. He's a big man. Carousella. Can they get it to Lynch for a last hurrah? O'Gree for Collingwood to Woden. Ackerman is cutting it off. It's in the Lynch direction. It's all over. And the Lions have scored another most impressive win against recent arch rival Collingwood.
A great milestone. How much did you want to be on the ground in that last minute?
Oh, it was good. The guys thought they'd put me on, so I tightened up at the end of the third quarter, so I needed a bit of a spell, but great result. Very fortunate to be part of such a good side.
When you came on the ground, when you ran through the banner, you had your children with you. What was that like?
A special moment. I mean, you don't get the opportunity to do things like that too much, but hopefully they remember it, and it was a very special moment for me.
Now that the game's over, can you reflect on the achievement and just what it means to you to have played 300 games?
Oh, no, I think reflection will be once I've finished and look back, but certainly never in my wildest dreams I played this much. I was hoping to play one game, and fortunate that I've been able to stay around.
Well done.
Thanks very much.
Alistair Lynch, well, the injury doesn't seem too bad. But what an achievement it is. And I'm sure he'll be cheered off the ground here tonight at the MCG. The Magpies, well, they gave it their best shot, but again they've fallen short against this amazing Brisbane Lions team. And that is fantastic to see with Wakeland and Lynch shaking hands.